Well, g'day. Hello there. I can see some people have joined already. Nice to have you. I'm Pez from the Music Gym, as you might have already gathered, being the Music Gym account, and doing another live guitar lesson, which will be interesting to an empty room yet again, but we'll try and have some fun with it. I'm going to give it a little sec to let people join and just wait a couple of minutes. In the meantime, might discuss what our lesson is going to be about. Sort of been discussing what it's going to be on my feed, on my own musical Instagram page, as well as the Music Gym's Instagram page. But I do sort of live covers over at my Instagram page, Denim Gorgeous, which has been in the story of the Music Gym's page. One that I did recently was the song 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins, which is an awesome song from the 90s, sort of a throwback. I love the song, it's a really great song. And I did an acoustic sort of cover of it, which is sort of a new rendition. It's slightly different to what the original is, but I'm going to use that as what we're going to learn and what I'm going to teach you. Hopefully try to teach you in half an hour. So grab your guitars if you are intending to learn on guitar. If you're just here for the laughs and the gags, watch me make a fool of myself, that's fine as well. I'll try and let you all down in that respect. Give it a tune if you haven't already. I'm just an E standard, which means just the normal way your guitar's probably already tuned. E, A, D, G, B, E. I'll probably start just playing this song a little bit. Maybe I'll play the verse, or I'll let you get an idea of how it sounds, and then we'll dive into how I'm playing it. I'm going to try to be attentive to all these comments, like I wasn't last time. Hello, Haley. So if you have any questions, please write them up, and I'll try to look at them. I'm also going to try and get the best camera angle so that you can see this guitar, and if at any point you can't see what I'm doing with my fingers, or you can't see me and you want to see me, which would be nice, just tell me. Okay, let's see. Pretty much the song. There's a verse 2, which is similar to verse 1, as you'd imagine. There's a chorus 2, which is similar to chorus 1. There's also a verse 3 as well. It's a great song. I got some of the lyrics wrong in there. They're pretty hard lyrics to memorize, but that's a task that you can do outside of this guitar lesson. Okay, let's dive in. First thing that needs to be said about this song, hello to everyone that's joining, is I've changed it sort of significantly from what the song actually is, and sort of put my own spin on it, and I've got to tell you what those changes are so that if you want to play along with the track, you know how to adapt it. First of all, I'm playing it in the key of D. It's in D sharp, so everything I'm going to teach you If you want to play along to the song, you're just going to play what I'm going to teach you, but you're going to grab a capo, you're going to throw it onto the first fret, and then just move everything up one fret accordingly. So if I tell you to do something on the 5th fret later in this lesson, throughout the next half an hour, you'll now do it on the 6th fret. That's if you want to play along to the song. If you don't, you just want to play, that's fine. I just dropped it down because I didn't want to use a capo when I was doing the rendition. What else needs to be said? This is a significant one, and we're going to have fun anyway. We're going to learn a cool rendition of this song, and you can hear that it's pretty much a song anyway, but I've changed the melody a little bit, okay? This part that's Shakedown 1979, basically following what the guitar is doing in the song. It's slightly different. Let's figure out what it is. Okay, that's the actual song's melody. It's going So I'll throw that in when we learn it as well. So I'll give you 2 ways that you can play it. Primarily, I'm going to teach the way I played it, and if you want to see that video, if you didn't just catch me saying it, go onto my Instagram page, Denim Gorgeous, and watch one of the recent Instagram TV videos. I did it there. It's a nice rendition, I think. Okay, the verse and the chorus are pretty similar to begin with. They're sort of rotating around the same things, or the same chords at least, the same chord progression. We just sort of changed the strumming pattern in the way we're playing it. So the verse, as well as the chorus, is mostly just 2 chords. The first one is this D major 7 sort of triad. Angle the camera up a tiny bit. Down. Okay. Hope this is okay. Let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe I'll zoom out as well. Okay, so the first little chord is this D major 7th triad. What I'm playing is first finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string. Sort of like a 5th or power chord, the beginning of a power chord at least. 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And then instead of having my pinky just below that, like I would for a power chord, I'm using my 2nd finger to put that 7th in. So that is the 6th fret of the 3rd string. And just playing those 3 things. I'm not worrying about doing the rest of the chord or opening it up or making sure I'm like using the other part of my index finger here to mute the bottom strings as well there. So that if I were to strum the entire guitar, all I'm getting is those 3 strings. My first finger is also, if you have the ability to do this, is just touching the 6th string up here so that I can actually strum the entire guitar and you're only hearing those 3 strings. If you're not at that difficulty, you can sort of do the same thing by playing your D down here with a small adaptation. You're going to take your first finger and your 2nd finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and only play the 4th string, the 3rd string, and the 2nd string. That triad is the same as this triad. It's just kind of tonally a little bit nicer up here, so I play it like that. But you could do the same down here. Okay. As well as that chord, the other chord is a G chord. If you've been to my class in the music gym and you know my style of playing, or you were around for the last Instagram Live video lesson that I did, where I used a G chord, you'll know that I don't really use this beginner's G very often. Not a big fan of it that much. I mostly just put my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and more often than not, just let everything be open from that point down. Every one of the strings, or every note that's of the open strings, is going to work for a G major chord quite nicely. So that's what I do. But incidentally, I am trying to mute the 5th string just on this one occasion. You don't always do that with a G, but I'm doing that now. I'm trying to mute this 5th string so that I can strum most of the guitar, and I've only really got the 6th string being heard where my 2nd finger is, an open 4th, an open 3rd, an open 2nd, maybe an open 1st if you want, but sometimes the base of my palm down here is muting that as well. There's no concrete way this has to be. It's going to sound fine if you mute certain strings or you don't mute certain strings, because they're all going to be in the key, so it'll be okay. So we've got this D major 7th triad and this open my style of G down here. On top of that, I told you about this melody that's being played in the song. Well, it's sort of the vocalist melody, and it's also mimicking what this electric guitar of the song is doing. It's playing like a riff, and that's following or working off of the vocal melody. I try and incorporate that as well, so I'm playing the chords as well as playing melody. So we've got to figure out the melody. We're starting with this triad. The beginning melody that sits underneath or on top of this D major 7 triad is really easy. It's just going to go bum bum ba bum 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 ba dum ba da bum 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 ba da da dum da dum da da dum. Okay, so how will we play that? Major 7th triad, and I'm just going to do down strums. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see my right hand as well. I'm just going to do down strums the whole time, and I'm going to, for the second part, bum bum ba da da dum, that part of the melody, I'm putting my pinky on to the 7th fret of the 3rd string, which is just 1 fret up from where my 2nd finger is. Basically a power chord, and then I don't have to have my 2nd finger there. But you'll see as I play it, I kind of just leave it there because it's not really that important to take it off. So, all down strums, and we're going bum bum ba da da dum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I guess that's how many that I'm playing. I don't really think about it until just now, actually counting it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on the 8th, you throw your 4th finger down. And I'm doing it by palm muting, because that's sort of what sounds good. I might not always do this throughout the song, but it's a good way to just keep it dynamically kind of mild. So, palm muting with my right hand, just touching a little bit further than where this bridge is, just a tiny bit further so that it's... I want it to be sort of like muffled a little bit. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the next part of that melody that sits underneath this D major 7 triad, that is an A string, or this is how I'm interpreting it at least, and playing it for the video or rendition that I did. That's an A note, the 5th fret of the 6th string. So the way that we play that is, now we've just moved from this little power chord that we've got on the 5th fret, of the 5th string, this D power chord. I'm just going to take my 1st finger and move it up to the A string. That's just moving it up to the A note on the E string. Lots of letters, very confusing. Hope you're following. I'm moving it up to the 6th string, to the A note on the E string, and now I'm going to bar the 5th frets of the 6th string and the 5th string. So that I'm pushing down 2 strings at once with my 1st finger. This is essentially a D second inversion, where the A is now the root, or the 5th note, if you know music theory, that was in the D is now the root. I do that a lot, I like it a lot, so it's good to do it for this song. So, that's what we need to hit, and we've still got the rest of the power chords still played, so we're now hitting 4 strings. All of that melody is bum bum ba da da dun, ba dun da da dun, and I guess the strumming pattern is pretty open for interpretation. I'm just sort of like mimicking what the rhythm is in my head. There's no concrete, you've got to do this and you've got to do it every time. But if I break it down for simplistic terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, little break. Yeah, maybe something like that. So you can keep them simple, they can all just be down strums, and you don't always have to down strum. You can take little breaks and just try and like mimic what you're hearing the rhythm is here. Bum ba da ba da da dum ba dum ba da bum bum ba da 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 dum da dun da da dun dun da 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 dun da dun da da dun dun da 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 dun da da da. That's all palm muted. You don't always have to palm mute it if you want. If you don't, it's just going to sound a lot more open. Okay, the way you would play that if you were doing this, if you're not really at a skill level where you can do this power chord, this major 7th triad, the way that you would do that down here, that I was showing you, is you've got your 2 fingers there, and you're really making sure at this point to only play 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string. And first part of the melody, then you're going to put your 3rd finger where you would normally for an open D major chord, which is on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then to incorporate what we were doing up here, you just move from strumming from the 4th string down to strum from the 5th string down. That includes this 5th string now, and it includes the note A. So we've got... Okay, if we palm muted that. Okay, that's pretty much half of the verse, and sort of half of the chorus, as I was saying, they're pretty similar things. Second half of the verse, we've moved on to this open, or my style, of a G chord. And the reason I'm only using one finger is because I'm trying to play the melody over the top of G, and I need these other fingers to play it at the same time. They can all still be down strummed, so it can be relatively easy to keep doing the melody. But the melody that I play, and then I'm going to show you what the actual melody is, just so you've got an option, but I like my style, that's why I did it. Okay, how do I do that? Okay, all down strums, and the only time I'm down strumming is when I think a melody note needs to come through. So, starting with just this G chord, one fingered on, just playing that. Then I've got my fourth finger. Most of the melody is all happening on this fourth string down here. So you kind of use your fourth finger and your first finger to play around on that fourth string and play with the melody that you need. So, first note is on the fourth fret of this fourth string. Next note, second fret of the fourth string. So fourth finger to the first finger. Yeah, so 4, you got open G, 4, 2, down, down, 4, 2, up to the fifth, still with my pinky finger and still on the fourth string. 5, 4, 2, open, open. So normal G to start with, 4, 2, 5, 4, 2, open. 4, 2, 5, 4, 2, oh, 4, 2, 5, 4, 2, oh. These are all still just down strums, and I would normally palm mute it. I'm not just not doing it now, just sort of show you so you can hear it all. 4, 2, 5, 4, 2, oh, oh. 4, 2, 5, 4, 2, oh, oh. So leading into that from this little D melody and chord that I was doing, it's D major 7. 1979. That's what's convenient. So if you're not as good of a singer as the good singers out there, like me, it's pretty helpful to play the melody on the guitar so that you can match it with your voice, and just makes things really easy. So maybe that's what I did, like subconsciously, when I was trying to figure out the rendition that I was going to play. So that's the melody that I do. But what's the actual melody? So that's the actual melody in the song that plays underneath the G. It's still sitting underneath that whole thing, and you could do that while you're playing the G as well if you wanted. You could mix it up every now and then as well and do one this way and one that way. What that is 4, 5, 4, 2, 0. All on the fourth string again. 4, 5, 4, 2, 0. 2, 4. And then the last note is the second fret on the third string, just one string down. So everything on the fourth string. 4, 5, 4, 2, 0, 2, 4, and then down to the third string, second fret. So I'm just holding the G underneath that, still just doing down strums the whole time, and only strumming when the melody actually needs to be played. I'm not like trying to do down and up and have the melody fall somewhere in there. Just downing for the beat of the melody. So really slow. In the song as well, it's on electric guitar, and I play it on acoustic guitar, and that's just one of the ways that I did the rendition. But there's a pretty distinctive bend sound going on in this electric guitar thing, where it's not bum 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 bum, it's distinctively wow. And you could do that if you wanted to. Could you do that while you're playing the G? You probably could, and just bend it with your fourth finger. Bend it down enough that it reaches the pitch of the fifth and back down to the fourth. As long as you get close enough, it's going to sound alright. The only difference with that melody to the melody that I played is that melody starts immediately. So as soon as you hit the G, that's the first note of the melody. Whereas the one I did is, it waits a little bit. Hits just an open G first, and then goes da da bum 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 bum. Whereas this one goes ba. So from the beginning. Okay, so there's your two options. I'm gonna play it my way, and I'm gonna play it the way the song is, and then you can pick, and maybe you can learn both. Slow. The way the song is. That bend is hard to do, but you might be able to do it without the bend. Okay. Again, I'm gonna stress this a lot because a lot of you, if you're in the beginner stages as well, you're gonna be confused as to the strumming pattern I'm doing. I could literally write down the strumming pattern for you, but it changes every time based on the feel and the groove of how you're feeling the rhythm in your head. I'm just mimicking what the rhythm of the song is. You've got to listen to the song and be like, this is how it goes, this is the groove, and just try and mimic that with your right hand. Okay, so that repeats several times. There's sort of a tail that happens on the end of the verse, and it's the same tail that happens on the end of the chorus as well. It's pretty easy. It's just an E minor chord, playing that the standard way, to an A major chord. I play it with the second, third, and fourth finger. Some of you might have learned it like this, and that's fine. Some might even be playing like this. Whatever, it all works. So that just gets tacked on at the end as a tail after you've played the D and the G several times. After you've hit the G, you go to the E minor to the A. It sounds like this. To the E minor. The only thing to be said about that is that the A is anticipated, so it doesn't go. You have to hit the A just like half a beat before you're meant to, the way you're feeling it. That's what anticipation is in music. So you're hitting it on the up strum. What's the actual strumming pattern that I'm doing? Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Let's keep it simple like that, but you have to hit the A on the up. So I'm gonna go down, 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 up, down, A, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay, I've got maybe my first question. This is an exciting moment, so bear with me before I move on to the chorus. Tanner, any tips on how to get that melody note to ring louder on the G? Okay. Yeah, I should have said this. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay. As you should always think about when you're playing guitar, or specifically if you're trying to play melodies with chords, you're not just, with your right hand, don't think of just strumming as like there's one type of strum and it's the strum of the guitar. You can strum and aim for the top couple of strings, or the middle portion of the strings, or the bottom portion of the strings, or all of them, or just half, or the top half, or the bottom half. So think about that quite a lot. When I'm playing the G, when the prominent part needs to be this G note on the second finger on the sixth string, I'm making a point to aim for the top of the guitar, and only aim for the top of the guitar. I don't want to hit the whole guitar. It's just going to make everything ring and there'd be too much noise. So just hit the G, and then when I have to hit the melody, let's say the first melody note is this fourth finger on the D string. Okay, let's strip back over here. I'm aiming for the middle. I'm not really like looking at it and doing it because I've just played guitar enough that I know where to aim on the strings of the guitar. But we've got, if you can sort of see the discrepancy, if I zoom in here and you can see with my right hand, this is an aim at the top and this is an aim at the bottom. Look, it looks pretty nuanced to the Instagram camera, but it does make a difference, and it's gonna make a difference when you play, and you can probably hear a difference at least. So that's the first part of the melody. I'm going two hits on the top of the guitar, and then 2 hits for the melody on the middle portion of the guitar. That should answer your question, because it's sort of like a, how do you make it sound louder? Well, it's reductive. You take away all the other parts that are drowning it out. Like if you're strumming the entirety of the guitar, there's 6 strings being played and 1 note isn't going to come through. Instead of making that one louder, that 1 note that the melody has, just decrease the volume of all the other ones. Yeah, keep trying. Look, it's hard, but this is a thing for beginner guitarists as well, I should say. If there's any like true beginners out there that are pretty frustrated with learning guitar and the curve that it takes, it is harder than a lot of other instruments because it requires more significant motor skills than some other instruments, because it hurts your fingers and you've got to get really intense dexterity. And well, look, piano's a whole thing in itself where you can master the instrument, and you know, at the music gym there are some really talented piano teachers, but if you just hit the key, you're going to make it be the sound that's sort of the same as like a professional hitting the key. Of course, they might do it more delicately and with musical patterns, but like you can actually, a beginner can screw up hitting this part of the guitar because you need that strength and that dexterity to begin with to even start learning. So in this learning curve, it can be pretty discouraging, the beginning part of learning guitar. I've seen it in a lot of people. Keep in mind that your left hand is going to learn a lot faster, and I mean learn like dexterity and coordination. It's going to learn a lot faster than your right hand is. I'm not sure why that is. You just practice. A lot of guitarists probably think that the left hand is mostly what's going on with guitar, so maybe they neglect their right hand and learning to coordinate things. But if you can get your right hand up to snuff, the dexterity, the coordination, being able to play different strumming patterns, different techniques, and strumming different parts of the guitar, you're going to be able to fool a lot of people, to be honest. Like, as long as your rhythm and your timing is good, and that comes down to your right hand, that's a huge amount of the battle. So maybe just start focusing a little bit more on trying to practice your right hand a little bit more as well, because your left hand is going to get good faster than your right hand is, and you want these things to be on par as they're moving up and you're getting better at guitar. You don't want your left hand to get exponentially better and your right hand's just dragging behind. Okay, just going to play the verse real quick, then we'll move into the chorus. Hoping I'm not running out of time. We might go a little over time. I hope I've still got your attention. As I said, the chorus is pretty similar to the verse, so it won't take as long. Here's the verse. Let's go to the E minor and A after this. From that A, we go into the chorus, really similar to the verse. Here is the chorus. We go back to this D shape, but we don't start on this major 7th triad shape where I'm using my second finger. We now, instead of going from the major 7th triad to the power chord, we go from the power chord down to the major 7th triad. So we start, I'm starting with this is how I played it. D power chord, but fully open so that open by lifting your hand up, and so you can hear the open B string and the open E string underneath. We're not talking about a bar chord here where you're pressing down multiple frets with one finger. I'm talking about do a power chord, 1st finger, 5th fret, 3rd finger, 7th fret, 4th finger, 7th fret, and open it up like that. Sounds awesome. I do that all the time. It's great. Okay, now we don't go into palm muting and we're not doing down strums. I'm kind of just doing, let's just do down, 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 up, down, up. Okay? So as I said, we're going from this power chord down to the major 7th triad, and it's anticipated again, so we have to hit it on the up that's just before the main beat. Sounds like this. On that up, I go down to the 2nd finger here, take my 4th finger off, 2nd finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. Yes. About doing this A, I just don't do it in the chorus. Keep it simple. Then we go to the G. As I said, it's really similar to the verse, but we just play it slightly differently. Then we go to the G. Okay, so you can play this the way that I was playing it, where it's just one finger right on to the 3rd fret of the 6th string, everything else is open. I like it like that. If you want to do the G like this, that's really going to be fine. One thing that I will do that gets close to this chord, I kind of never do this chord, but the one thing that gets close to it is 2nd finger's on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and my 3rd finger's on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. It's sort of just like, this is still where things are in the main basic G chord, but I'm just stripping away things that I don't like in it. Maybe you can do that. So maybe same strumming pattern. Down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up. So, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down. If this is too hard for you, again, you can just go back to doing this open D chord position up here. The way that you would do the major 7th triad from that is you need to drop this 3rd finger back and play the 2nd fret on the 2nd string. You can do that by, maybe you can just do this lazy thing and crouch all your fingers in. Probably not the best technique, but you would just sort of like pull your 3rd finger away and put your 2nd finger up to play the 2nd fret on the 2nd string. That's the simplest way you can play it. I still try and play a bit of a melody over the top of that when I was doing this video. And again, I encourage you to go and see this video so that you can sort of like contrast and compare as to, you know, the way I do it, the way I'm teaching right now, which is slightly different again, and the way the song is, which is fairly different. So the way that I do the melody on top of this G, yeah, so the first portion of the chord is the same, just down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. And then when we go to the second portion, or the second bar of the G, my 4th finger is on the 4th fret of the 4th string, 4, 4, 4. I didn't expect that to be the case, it's nice. 1st finger goes down to the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and then I open it back up to just going back to what I was doing, which, because you've run down this melody, this is the note. The open 4th string is going to be sort of prominent, familiar in your ears, and attenuated a little bit. So, up, 4th, 2nd, open, down, 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 up, down, up, another up, 4th, another up for the 2nd, another up for the open. Does that 2 times. Like I said, it's a pretty similar structure to what the verse is doing. And again, the same tail that we put on the end of the verse, we're going to put on the end of the chorus as well. We go to the E minor, and again we go to the A, but it's accented again. Anticipated. Sorry, too many A words in music. So we hit it on the up. So. I did it the wrong way there. One right around there. Okay, I'm going to do a pretty quick recap. That's basically it. And there's a second verse, like I said, and there's a second chorus. And I do nuanced, subtle, different things where like I sort of take like an instrumental solo or something in the video and maybe just do a little fun thing while still playing the chords and do like, I don't know, some different kind of melody that's nice. And complements it well in spaces that there are no singing or no lyrics. I'm going to run over that all again, just quickly, go going through the verse and the chorus. In the meantime, if you have any questions, if you need me to reiterate anything, or you just have questions generally, or you have questions about the music gym and how we work, or try to work in this time, throw them in the stream, in the thread of comments, and I will read them after I'm done. But here's a little chance for you to ask some questions. Okay, we're starting with the verse. D major 7, triad, all down strums. Power chord to the A and G. Dun, 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 dun. Here's the frets. 4, 2, 5, 4, 2, 0. To the E minor. Chorus, open G, anticipated major 7, G, 4, 2, 0, D, major 7, G. To the E minor. The strumming pattern there for the E minor and the A, which is the same in the verse as it is in the chorus. Down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up. Then we go back to the verse, and you gotta, because this, I said this in my last lesson as well, because I did Heroes by David Bowie, where there isn't really a chorus. It's sort of just like part A, and there's a tail to part A, and it just repeats itself. So because it's kind of repetitive, and because in this song especially, the verse and the chorus is kind of so similar, at least in chord progression, you have to do something as a musician, in the style that you're playing, to diversify these two parts. And the easiest cop-out to change them up is just change them up dynamically. Okay, so the verse is palm muted, and it's milder, and it's quieter, and because you're palm muting it, it's not really sustained either. And then the chorus is full throttle. Okay, what else needs to be said? I don't think anything. Thanks for tuning in. I don't think anyone has any questions. Oh, thanks, Tanner. Yeah, it's a great song, that walking bass line on Heroes. Oh yeah, so obviously another way, like I said, the easiest cop-out is just to change the dynamics up, make the verse quiet and the chorus loud, but also I'm doing the melody a little bit more in the verse and not so much in the chorus, where it's just like full strum of the chords in the chorus. That's another way to diversify it a little bit. Again, if you sort of chewing on this and you're digesting it pretty well, go and watch the video that I have on my Denim Gorgeous music page. That's Denim Gorgeous. It's in the stories of the music gym somewhere. I'm tagged, and you can go and check it out. And have a look at it. Maybe have a look at some of the other cover videos as well. And if you're interested in them, send me a message, and I'll try and teach you over Instagram messaging or something. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I am available to do online lessons. We're still doing online lessons as the music gym, one-on-one lessons through Zoom, the app, not just through Instagram. And if you're interested in that, I'd be happy to have you and teach you. I can pick something that you want to learn, or you can come to me with a technique you're struggling with, or a specific song that you want to learn. I don't know, the possibilities might be close to endless. If you're interested in that, send the Music Gym Instagram page a message if you want, or all of it can really just be done through the website. You can check out our website, and all the information's on that website can be found by Googling the Music Gym, or you can find it through the Instagram page, again, in our bio. I'm sure it's there, or somewhere amongst that you can find a way to get to our website. If you have any questions afterwards, send us a message if you can't think of it right now. This Instagram live session is still going to be up on Instagram for another 24 hours, I think it is. Instagram rules. So you can watch it again if you want to revisit this. My Instagram page, just to reiterate, my personal Instagram page is Denim Gorgeous. It's denim like pants, and gorgeous like you. That's my band page and my music page, and I put new music that I've recorded and released up there, as well as videos that I have sung and played and filmed, like this one. This song, this cover video, or just stupid, silly things as well. Like sometimes put a picture of my Jeep up there. The other day, I think I'm fond of the Jeep, so I thought I'd show it to everybody. Sad indie folk music. So I don't want to get too sad on this thing, so I'm kind of like just picking which ones not to do more than which ones to do. Okay. Alright, I think I've come up with a song. I don't write many love songs, although I shouldn't say that, I've got like 5 now. Maybe 4. I think 5. But I'm gonna sing a love song. It's called 4M. It's for somebody, obviously. Named M. Let's leave it at that. I've got a version of this actually released on my Spotify. You can find it all through my Instagram band page. I'm also recording a band version, or I finished a band version. It'll be out soon enough. But obviously just going to play you an acoustic version now. State lines with nothing better to do. Words are written in the pink sky. Love is coming for you. The message didn't get through. To leave and traveling time and space. Santa Fe had an installation with trippy shapes and fluorescent paints. The pink shined upon your face. I finally felt the message get through. When you say I'm your favorite babe, I can hear my next 10,000 years. On the corner of mystery, where you're serenading me to sleep. We're building beds out of tea towel sheets, and my eyes are giving into the breeze. The drool is seeping up like a sea. I drifted away into a dream. Where I'm the captain, you're the port. Your love's the waves that sails me into the shore. Alright, farewell. Thanks for having me. It's nice to have you. Again, you want to see that video? It's going to be, you want to see the lesson that I just did? It's going to be on Instagram for another 24 hours. If you want to see the way that I played the song 1979, my rendition of it, go to the Denim Gorgeous music page. If you want to hear the song, jump on Spotify, YouTube. It's a great song, 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, that song was called 4M. Someone said, M is for Music Gym. It is. Dead giveaway. That was a love song for the Music Gym. Thanks for joining me. Hope you're all okay. Farewell for now.